crash into the sun. The world will end in 1697 because Carlton Mather says Jesus will come. The world will end in 1961 because nuclear war will overtake us. The world will end in 100 billion years because light will no longer reach our galaxy. The world will end in 427,000 years because the demon Kalki will be born upon the banks of the Ganges River to ride his white horse with drawn sword blazing and strike down humanity. The world will end in 1716 because Cotton Mather says Jesus will come this time. The world will end in the year 2000 because of the computer bug Y2K. The world will end in 1736 because Cotton Mather says Jesus will come this time, he promises. The world will end in 100 years because the island of Manhattan will be underwater. The world will end in 30 years because the island nation of Kiribati will be underwater. The world will end in 85 years because there will be 187 million climate refugees. The world has always been ending. The world is ending now. And when the last human is dead, the bodies of the universe will continue their revolutions. I see the center of the earth collapsing and falling through the air, splitting from the wind and spreading thin in descent. Miles below where our feet are now, the rocks crumble and erode, and the very definition of gravity gives way until falling is all, to a new and darker down. And these bodies of ours, almost inconsequential, mixed in with the unimaginable tons of sediment unlayering before us. We can see that time doesn't always travel forwards. Sometimes it goes up. When I see sidewalk cracks, it is the end of the world. When I see pristine drywall, it is the end of the world. When I see sleepy eyelashes, it is the end of the world. I see everything cross-sectioned and labeled for clarity. The world has already ended in my head, understood. I map the patterns of my capillaries. I record the pressure it takes to break my arms. I take away the light until my retina no longer forms an image, and that darkness is, therefore, my conclusion. It all falls. Quickly, but simultaneously, the illusion of stillness at terminal velocity. It falls out of order. Buildings unbuild themselves. Words catch rogue drifts and disassemble above our heads. There is no reckoning with this immensity. There is no reckoning with this immensity. There is no reckoning with this. All of the pieces of me fall. At once, but apart. I see him coming. Quetzalcoatl, the ancient Mayan god, late from a failed 2012 doomsday, but coming now, and soon. He won't be the Quetzalcoatl of old. He will be made of junk mail. Hot deals on his glossy wings to bring us salvation and savings from pesky mortality and horrific monotony with 58-inch flat screens at just $7.99. To bring us enlightenment through our newly holy mailboxes. A new age. A utopia we haven't even dreamed of yet, where water is only ever good. Thank you. Thank you, Quetzalcoatl. Thanks, Big Q. He will thrust out his magnificent paper wings, pierce the arrow of time, shake the ground beneath us, fight us, fuck us, infect us, discard us, retrieve us, recycle us. He alone will make America great again. He alone will make America new again, make us into animals that breathe the air again. Take me. I'm ready. Pack my flesh into plastic bubble wrap and truck me to the source. I see it. I see it all. Take me. Take me, Quetzalcoatl. Or I might just start running out the door, through gray-brown fields waiting to regreen, through brick facades, iron-tiered parking structures, between the atomic gaps in the tall white back doors of Park for the Night 18-wheelers, embryonic to the cold, godlike to snow. I'll walk through California ghost towns, now that the gold is gone, into the walls of the Rockies, through recently touched up aluminium siding and out, over the sand, into the water, until I see it shining in the distance, simple and warm, breathing, eating, rooted in the detritus, growing as big as life once was and walking like giants among the ruins. Liberation in the face of abandonment. Eden after God. Or even simple whittling death on her watery porch, just scraping the years away, working back toward the beginning. Death, the steward of order, entropy's sympathetic sister who looks back through us like we've just begun our way towards the start, en route to the Big Bang, approaching sense in the universe. Are you there? I see your reflection in the water. I see your soft smile in condemned buildings. I need to know you better now, Death. Just give me a sign. When a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, it first becomes a chrysalis. And inside of this chrysalis, the caterpillar is destroyed. Its sinews and organs tear themselves to bits into fluid thicker than blood, biotic ooze. And inside of the shell, it is chaos, the in-between, a wave of furious reorganization that washes away the old structures to build completely new ones from their rubble. America has formed its shell and has begun to fall apart. The very stuff of the nation foreign to its people, an alien nation of outsiders to a decaying infant system, a nation of deniers and unbelievers, of zealots and prophets filled far below the brim with the fearful, courageous, disenfranchised. Those foundational American muscles of suburbia and homogeny and pillars of science and God failing us for a new era of an earth that is not here for our taking, of an earth that has turned its back on us like the other holy objects. Armageddon is the end of the sacred. Apocalypse is the unveiling of God's corpse. It is when we think there is an extra stair at the top of the staircase. And so we free fall, folded into the mass of transformation. Change is not a straight line. It is death and rebirth. And we are a nation dying to be reborn. America is no longer a developed nation. America is an undeveloping nation, crumbling under its own weight. America is an unveiling nation, lifting its mask to show the old sick face of this young, scared country. America is an unraveling nation, and we have conspired to destroy the world. So, let us begin our metamorphosis. Tear it all down. The cities built on slaves' bodies, the towers to impotent gods, and let us become the biotic ooze of the chrysalis. We have finished failing to save the world. We know how to heal, but now we must learn for the very first time how to die. Or we might just all float up. The world beneath us shrink, blur, mesh, leaving behind our filthy but short-lived legacy to be consumed by the voracious life of the earth. Leaving it all behind, doomed, ecstatic, guilty, naked like dust in a sunbeam, we'd finally become as small as our bodies. It'll only take a few thousand feet to be dwarfed by clouds, made wholly insignificant again, and bumping past the satellites, so quiet, until the earth is a pale blue dot made just a little bit lighter by our absence. We'd go right in the middle of our wash cycles, without getting our morning coffee, without packing any balms or supplements, just suddenly, gently our feet lift off the ground. Holy, unexpected, inexplicable. And at 20,000 feet or so, as the last of us emerges from the clouds, we could all look down and say, together, to everything, I'm sorry. And thank you.